Hello all, welcome back once again to another interesting episode under the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav story series by Momish of Musings. Today I'm going to introduce you to the youngest spy known in the Indian history, or shall I put it as world history because not many history books across the country, different countries, talk about having a teenage person as a spy. It's early 19th century, my dear friends, and this is the time when our heroine or the main protagonist of the story was born. She's none other than Saraswati Rajamani. Rajamani is her original name, and she is the first female spy recorded in the INA history itself. It was the year 1927 when the richest family in Rangoon celebrated a good news of the birth of a small princesses in their family. Rajamani's parents are the one of the richest families who used to live during the early 90s, 1900s in Rangoon. Her father owns a couple of gold mines, not only in Rangoon but also back in India, and he is a big supporter of the freedom fighters, and he always used to support the freedom movement right from his young days. And he used to do a lot of funds and help all the freedom fighters escape from the mainland India whenever there was a problem with the Britishers and stuff like that. And obviously, born to such a good parents, even of young princess, imbibed the uh, uh, freedom fever, and she also wanted to see India liberated at an early time. And let's fast forward to 10 more years. Now she's turned into a young girl of 10 years. And at that time, Gandhiji was visiting Bengal, Bangladesh, and I mean, not at that time, it was not Bangladesh, it was extended part of it. And then Burma, all these places to collect funds for the Indian freedom movement as well as gain their support. And he was meeting all the people in that area. In that process, when he came to Rangoon, he met Rajamani's parents, who are obviously in the high in the social circle in Rangoon, and all the freedom leaders, movement leaders used to come and visit them. And so they called Gandhiji to their house for a dinner or whatever, for a meeting where not only the members of that family, but all the neighboring people were also gathered to meet Gandhiji, and they were introducing the family who's hosting this event one after the other. Now it's a turn for the young princesses to be introduced, but unfortunately, she's not to be seen anywhere. The family members started getting worried, and everybody started searching everywhere. It was it was written that even Gandhiji has participated in the search about her. Finally, they could find her only in the back in the mangrove orchard at the back of the house, practicing her toy gun to take shoots at the targets kept at a distance. Seeing this young girl holding a gun such an expert manner, Gandhiji was little surprised. He asked her, "Beta, why are you using gun? You should be playing with something else, like all the girlish stuff and stuff like that." Then he said, Then this girl Rajamani replied saying that I like shooting and I want to kill Britishers using this gun. Immediately, Gandhiji was taken aback. He said, Beta, we, all the elders at India, have decided that non-violence is the best way to get freedom to India. And we all believe it and we practice non-violence, right? So why are you taking guns? That is not the way. And then he went on explaining the benefits of non-violence movement, how non-violence gives you peace of mind and all this stuff. He felt that yes, this little girl was convinced, and then he asked at the end, Beta, I hope you understood the importance of non-violence. Then immediately, this young girl replied back to Gandhiji saying, Dadaji, if suppose somebody comes and tries to loot you or your house, what will we do? We'll hit them or we'll kill them. Britishers are looting our India, our culture, our wealth, our traditions, and everything. So why can't we kill them? Killing is the only best possible solution. It's not the girl who's chased here, my dear friends. It's Gandhiji who's taken aback. He didn't know what to answer. So he just walked away from that situation. Such a fiery young girl obviously would have turned into a brave teenage girl who is seeking adventure, who is just waiting for adventures to unfold, isn't it? That's what precisely happened when you fast forward this into 5 years into future. It was the year 1943. when Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose ji has started INA in Singapore, and he also started RJR at the same time, that is Rani Jhansi Lakshmi Bai regiment under the leadership of Lakshmi Sehgal. So we started giving a lot of speeches across radios and and started visiting places to collect funds. Even before that, 1943, after Gandhiji's left her home, this young girl got addicted to listening to various speeches that were broadcasted on the radio along with her father. And whenever Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose's speech is coming on the radio, she should sit down with pen and book and note down all the important points from his speech into her book. That's how she got to know how Bhagat Singh got hanged and with the way other various atrocities that Britishers were committing on Indians at that point of time, and her blood started boiling whenever we talk about the Britishers. In fact, one of the famous slogans for which Netaji is known to, that is, "Give me your blood, I'll give you freedom," attracted this little girl to Netaji. And she became an ardent fan of Netaji from that point of time. In fact, she's written these words in big bold letters and pasted it on her walls, just like how other teenage girls you paste a lot of their screen idols or sporting idols on pictures on their walls. This girl has pasted Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose ji and other freedom fighter photos on her walls, and she's put this slogan on her wall so that she can daily remember it and train herself to fight with Britishers. What a noble thought at such a young age, isn't it? And at that point of time, because she's reached the high school stage, that is the senior secondary or secondary schooling level, she started helping her dad in the administrative affairs of her mining industry as well as her other father's businesses. And when Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose ji came to Rangoon to collect funds for INA, she happened to visit one of the and attend to Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose ji's speech in Rangoon. And as I told you, she's born to a richest family, right? So normally, just on a daily basis, she used to be dressed up in fine clothes, fine jewelry, and everything. She used to go around like a real princess at that point of time. And when she went to attend this meeting with in which Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose ji spoke, he at the end of the meeting he asked the people from Rangoon to give money as much as possible for them, which is no compulsion, but to support the cause of INA and support the freedom fighters from INA. Immediately, this teenage girl, who is hardly 15 years, went to the organizers, removed all the jewelry, right, from earrings, bangles, and chains, anklets, everything, and gave off the entire stuff without even single bit of hesitation or fear on her face. And then after the meeting is over, at the end of the day, when all the organizers and Netaji were taking the statistics and seeing how much they got and stuff like that, they found that this huge bundle of jewelry given donated by one single girl. And when Netaji asked who is this girl, then they told that it is Rajamani, who is the daughter of the richest family in Rangoon. And already Netaji knows her family because they have already donated so much money to INA already and to other freedom movements. So he knew them personally. So next day morning, Netaji went to meet Rajamani's father in their house. And then Netaji told her father, "Sir, and this much of jewelry has been donated by your daughter. I think it's all in her teenage naivety that she's given so much without even asking your permission. So I request you to take it back. You had already given so much for our cause that I don't want to burden you too much." Being a true father to this fiery young girl, her father told Netaji that it's her jewelry and it's her wish to whom she wants to give. We are not going to have any say in this matter. If you want, you can talk to her directly. And he called this teenage girl into the library room, where Netaji asked this girl, "Beta, why are you giving so much jewelry without asking your parents' permission? Do you know the value of this jewelry?" To which this young girl replied back saying, like, "I don't know the value of this jewelry, which is true, but however valuable this jewelry is, it belongs to me, and I can give or donate this to anybody, whomsoever I wish. That is the freedom which my parents has given. And of course, though her parents have given such a freedom to her, she's acting within limits and she's doing whatever is really good. She's not misutilizing that freedom. You will have to know that fact here, right? Then Netaji was really impressed with her, and then he started talking more and more to her about her ideologies, how what she thinks about the freedom movement, and all that stuff. The more and more he started talking, the more and more he got attracted to this teenage girl. And he said, "Beta, Lakshmi comes and goes, but Saraswati stays with you forever. And I see the spark of Saraswati in you. So from today onwards, you would be called Saraswati Rajamani, not just Rajamani, and Saraswati is your new name." Hearing this young girl touched Netaji's feet and said, "Can I call you Kakuji?" And she started calling him Kakuji. And she said, "Kakuji, I need to get one promise from you before I accept this new name. You need to include me into RJR. That is Rani Jhansi Lakshmi Bai's regiment." But Netaji was little skeptical because he knew that she was born as a princess. She is pampered a lot in the house. She used to so much comforts. But whereas as an INA soldier, she needs to undergo a lot of hardship. So he was skeptical from the fact that whether she will be able to take that much stress or that much torture or that much hard work in her future life. So initially, as a midway arrangement, he asked her to undergo the medical training that is required for a nurse, and she can start working in the army military based hospitals, which which will be a starting point of her career, which she immediately obliged, and she immediately told her father that she will have to be excused from all the administrative duties for father's business. She went ahead, got the training, and started working in the army military base hospital as a nurse. During this time, she got some important information which she overheard while treating a British patient, that they were planning to raid the nearby Japanese military camp where all the bombs, cannons, everything was stored, so that they can take away all the armor from the Japanese, and Japanese will not be able to progress with their fighting. As soon as she heard this news, uh, the moment her duty got over, she rushed in the same British nurse dress into the nearby Japanese military camp so that she can go and meet the local leader, inform about this secret information. As soon as she entered the military camp, Japanese thought that she's a real Britisher, and they started attacking her by shooting bullets at her. She dodged all these bullets in a very easy way, and she entered into the military officer's camp or military camp's officer's office or a cabin, and informed them about this secret information, using which these people, Japanese people, shifted all their bombs, cannons, army people to a safer location, and they were saved. Hearing this incident, Netaji was really impressed about the uncanniness in getting the information, her dedication towards her job and everything. So he felt that yes, this girl is suited for RJR. So he immediately recruited her into RJR, and she started getting training along with other Ranis of RJR, the hardcore training, the military skills, the gun shooting, which she already practiced as a little girl, right? All the other military skills. And she went through all the hardships of the training, and she came out with flying colors. When she was getting recruited into RJR, she pulled another couple of girls from her school days into RJR along with her. One such girl's name is Durga. Both of them were selected by Netaji to work as spies in the British officers' bases at that point of time. So to work as spies in the British officers' bases, their houses, their offices, hospitals, and stuff like that, these two girls cut their hair very short, like just like a close shaven head, like how boys of that age looked at that point of time, and dressed as boys, started working as errand boys in the British officers' houses. They should do shoe polishing, pressing the clothes, weeding the vegetables, cutting the vegetables, do all the sorts of sultry jobs, which hitherto they were not so used to. Because, especially our Saraswati Rajamani was a pampered princess, right? We need to remember that. These are all such a hard work for her. back at the house, people were used to wait for her, wait on her, give her food, everything, serve her on the platter. But here, she's doing all that to the Britishers, whom she really hates. But still, she did all this for 2 years without giving away even a single bit that she's a really an Indian spy in the Iran boys attire. Unfortunately, one fine day, Durga got captured while she was trying to get some information from one of the British bases. And she was put in the prison at the other camp in a different village. As soon as Saraswati Rajamani got to know this, she dressed herself as a dancing girl, went to that camp, started dancing, engaging all the officers in the funny, antic way, cute way of her dancing and stuff like that. And she mixed opium in their drinks while serving. When all the officers, got basically fainted with the, fell down after consuming the opium mixed drinks, she, along with her friend, tried running away from that base. But unfortunately, the gatekeepers saw this and started trying to shoot at Rajamani and Durga. And because during this shooting, Rajamani got injured in one of her legs, and they had climbed up on top of a tree, and they were hanging on the top branches of the trees, just like monkeys. And down on the ground, Britishers were searching everywhere as to where these two boys. They were still thinking that their boys had have escaped at that point of time. They couldn't find. And these two girls had to hang on to the high branches for 3 days so that all the search party, everybody will go back and the surroundings will become little silent. Post which they took a bus and reached Rangoon and reported back to INA base. This showed her courage, grit. I'm telling you this only this incident which Rajamani herself, Saraswati Rajamani has herself has shared in her autobiography. But her life is nothing short of a big spy thriller movie, my dear friends. The and after this incident, she was given promotion as a lieutenant, and she was moved up in in the ranks of INA. And by that time, it was 1945, where people started, Hiroshima and Nagasaki were getting attacked by US people and all the stuff, right? Then INA got disbanded as Japanese lost the World War II. Then INA was disbanded. At that point of time, she is really near, very closer to Burma border, the current Burma border, and she pulled a lot of soldiers. From the trenches. She helped all the soldiers move back safely to the safer zones so that none of the INA soldiers can get injured and all that stuff. She helped a lot. By that time, it's 1945. Rajamani's parents have donated a lot of their money, wealth for the Indian freedom movement. And when INA was getting disbanded, Subhash Chandra Bose, Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose told that Indian freedom movement needs money, a lot of money, because now this violent arm wing of INA is getting disbanded, and Saraswati Rajamani's father has written off all their wealth, business, everything to the motherland, and within two and unfortunately Netaji passed away in the plane crash, and immediately India got freedom. Then nobody needed this young spy anymore. Nobody remembered who this spy is. Not even the INA leaders. Nobody else. But they don't have any money left. The richest, which they were so used to in Rangoon. So they were forced to move back to their own native town, that is in Trichy or Trishrapalli in Tamil Nadu, along with her parents. And she settled down, living a lower middle class life with no imminent form of, source of income for them. How they spend their time, God only knows. She didn't get any recognition from then government of India or anybody. It took almost next 25 years for people to recognize her as a real freedom fighter, and she started getting her freedom fighters pension. Saraswati Rajamani wrote a book about her memories of Netaji, how she spent her time in INA and everything in Tamil, which is her native tongue, isn't it? But Her story came to light only after 2004 tsunami when she donated all her monthly freedom fighters pension to the tsunami flood relief victims. That's when the local newspaper reporter got interested about this old lady who donated all her monthly pension and went and inquired about her story. That's how it came into light. And then Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, Shri Jayalalitha ji, went and met her, gave her a flat in Chennai, and gave us other pensions and other increase her pension amount and all that stuff. She started living in Chennai. And not even during this the back end of her life, she was one person who always thought about country first, and that is when she should go house by house to collect the used clothes, stitch them or mend them if required, press them, give it back to orphanages where people really require. She was working in so tirelessly till 2018, where she had passed away due to a heart attack in 2018. Even before her death, when Odisha government has decided to open up a new museum for to honor Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose ji and his contribution to the freedom struggle, she donated all her insignia of INA uniform, her cap, her medals, everything to that museum so that people will remember about INA a lot. Such is her noble soul. And there is one message that she has given it to her grandsons, which has been shot into a short film, which floats around in the social media. Is that whatever it is, whatever the curveball that life throws at you, you need to always remember two words: "I can." When you remember these two words, "I can," you can achieve anything. If you cannot remember these two words, you cannot achieve anything. Whatever may be the situation, when you say that I can come out of the situation, definitely you will get a small opening. Either God will send you a small source of light using which you can find out a small opening somewhere in that problem. And this is one clear cut message which she is giving it to her grandsons. And then she told that every person has to do something for the society and for their own nation. Be it be picking up the trash on the road, be it be offering water, a glass of water to the thirsty people, a thirsty courier person, or the vendor who is going on the streets, be it be offering a slice of watermelon to the people who are working on the construction site. Whatever it is, your small gestures, everybody these small gestures will only make India complete. What a beautiful life lessons, I should say, my dear friends. I mean, I'm really impressed with this noble soul, Saraswati Rajamani, who started her journey as a fiery young teenage girl in INA, but that fire in her never died till her last days. And she spread her love for country throughout in her family and to her neighbors. I hope you all like this story. Stay tuned to another interesting set of stories tomorrow. Till then, bye bye.